Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Lions franchise. Today we'll talk about stats and awards. And Kingsbury had almost 4,000 yards, 37 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 65% completion percentage. Really good numbers, a little bit inflated by the system I use, but really good numbers for a rookie QB. Stafford played 5 games and half of his stats came from 1 game. And after that there was a steep drop off. Kerryon Johnson, 520 and 2. We could not get the run going, and especially at the goal line, I could not trust it. Calvin Short had 5.3 a carry. He had some explosive runs, but so many of our carries stopped at the line of scrimmage, so I'm not happy with the run game. Tyreek Hill leads the league in receiving yardage, while Lindell Thierry, the rookie receiver, comes in fourth with 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns, 565 after catch. That's a 7.4 after catch average. Then we've got rookie running back Calvin Short, 1,200 yards, 9 scores. Almost all of his yardage came after catch, and that was due to all the screens and motion swing passes I threw to him. So yeah. Arcega-Whiteside, third receiving on the team, 1159 and 15 touchdowns. He had a quiet beginning of the season, but after the quarterback change, his role expanded a lot. TJ Hawkinson had a really good season, 850 and 5 is good for a fourth on the team. Matthew Ford was hurt for I think 6 weeks, 267 in the score, while Tyrone Shepard in his absence got 176 and 1 score. So combined that's about 430 for slot receivers. I think we can expand that role. I'm gonna look for an upgrade in the draft or in free agency. Then a couple screens dumped off for Swift and Johnson. Not much to tell. Clyde Farr allowed 5 sacks, which is not all that great, but he again played really steep competition. Decker had 3 sacks allowed, not great. Gunter leads the league in tackling, 205 tackles. I think that is a record. Luke Wagner in second behind him, 193. The thing is, our D-line is really bad at run defense, so our linebackers still have to clean up after them, so there is a lot of assists, but yeah. Addison Wheaton had 113 in tackling, so that's pretty great for a slot corner. Tracy Walker, 96, strong safety. Luke Wagner had 11 TFLs. His run defense got a lot better as the year went on. His run defense in the first season was not all that great, but it's getting better. Terrence Rodriguez had 7 TFLs, and if that's the best for a D-liner, you have got a problem. But we'll upgrade run defense next season a lot. 14 sacks for Terrence Rodriguez. Pretty good numbers. He was the rush D tackle in nickel personnel and the left end and base. Carlos Jefferson as well got 14 sacks, and those were a lot more high quality sacks because he had to split a lot of double teams. Trey Flowers, 11 sacks. He got up there from last year's where he had 8.5, if I remember correctly. And there is Jeremy Gabriel, the rookie D tackle. He had 5 sacks, but mostly coverage sacks, so no real pressure on the quarterback from the get-go. 4 interceptions. Addison Wheaton, he had 4 picks, and for me that means I made the right decision at the beginning of the season to put him in slot corner, and he also had 113 tackles, so I'm pretty happy with his season. Jair Alexander, his first season as a Lion, 3 interceptions. That could get some more higher. He dropped some, but I think overall it's fine. Luke Wagner, he had only 1 pick. That is definitely not the best season for pass coverage he had, but he had a lot of passes broken up in comparison to last season, so I think his pass defense output still is good. Jeff Okuda, only 1 pick, pretty disappointing, but he still was pretty much locked down, so number 2 receivers still had problems. Matt Prater, 26 of 29. There were some 50-yarders that he missed, and I think I shanked 1 extra point. For total offensive yardage, we are top 10, which is okay, I guess. But considering we were behind a lot of the season, that number is a little bit inflated. Passing yardage, we were first in the league, and that was only due to being last in rushing yardage. We were so terrible in rush offense, so that we had to throw it all the time. I did not trust the run at all. We were second in points scored. That is pretty good. 30.3. That is a really nice offensive output. We had 47 passing touchdowns, which led the league, so that is pretty great. But we also had the least rushing touchdowns, and that was not great, but I just couldn't trust the run game at the goal line, so yeah. For first downs gained, we again regress from 255 to 252, and that is good for second to last in the league, but it's also a big play offense, and that explains that a little bit. Total yardage allowed, Lions defense is last in the league, but I expect that defense to get a lot better next season. We have been getting better the entire season, and at the end we had a 4-game win streak and then lost the last game. But yeah, pass yardage allowed, most in the league. Rush yardage allowed, most in the league. So there is no surprise there. We've got to get better on defense. Points allowed, we are second to last in the league, only behind the Tennessee Titans. And I expect that number to go down next season as well. QB sacks, we are second in the league, and that is only due to coverage, because we had so many coverage sacks. I would bet that about 60 to 70% of our sacks were coverage sacks and not pure pass rush sacks. We have had some good interception numbers in the last year, but this season it went down. We also only recovered 2 fumbles, so that is only 13 turnovers we created. Now to go to conversions. We were last on third down percentage, only 40%, and I mean that is due to Tyler Kingsbury's inaccuracies on medium and long third downs, so no surprise there. But I think the big play element makes up for it. Red zone efficiency, we are best on offense, we are worst on defense. We lead in so many categories, and then on defense we are the worst team in so many categories, and that number needs to go down as well for the next season. But I think our defense is on a really good path. We just need some more players, and this offseason I think is key to getting to the playoffs next year. We had a turnover differential of 4. That is pretty much top 10, I think. So I'm really happy with that. Let's look at the playoffs. The Bengals destroyed Kansas City, the 7-seed Bengals. Then the Jets beat the New England Patriots, so they move on. And for the last game in overtime, the Browns beat the Raiders, so they move on as well. To the divisional rounds, where they beat the New York Jets by 10 points. So that's pretty great. In the other divisional round matchup in the AFC, the Bengals got destroyed, only scoring 3 points, while the Colts, who were last in turnover differential, win it and then move on to the championship game and win there as well by 2 scores. In the NFC, the 7-seed Cardinals, who were not in the playoffs race for the entire season, beat the 2-seed Panthers. The Green Bay Packers destroy the Vikings by, I think, 4 scores, and the Saints beat the MVP-led Seahawks by 23 points. Then in the divisional matchup, the Saints went on to beat the Packers, while the Cardinals, the 7-seed Cardinals, beat out the Washington football team, who were heavy Super Bowl favorites. They went on to lose against the Saints, so that trade I made for Justin Coleman to the Saints really paid off for the Saints, since they are now in the Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts. That really went well for the Saints. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you liked and subscribed and ring the bell for notification. Let's move on to the Pro Bowl. No quarterbacks, obviously, with only 11 games starting. Kingsbury is probably not gonna get in there. CMC halfback 1, Zeke halfback 2, Dalvin Cook halfback 3. No surprise there. But Arcega-Whiteside, wide receiver 1, Lindell Thierry, wide receiver 2, then Devontae Adams and Chris Godwin. And then Taj Redmond and Julio Jones for the Falcons, 2 receivers in the Pro Bowl. George Kittle is in there, Jay Sternberger for the Packers, then Dallas Goedert is in there as well. For tackles, it's Bakhtiari at 1. That was more than obvious. Frank Ragnow made it. And actually, for every left tackle 1, left guard 1, center 1 for both conferences, I upgraded their developments so that we get some more better developments at O-line. Terrence Rodriguez, left end 1, I love it. Aaron Donald made the Pro Bowl and Nick Bosa as well. And there is Carlos Jefferson as D tackle 2. But as I was saying, since there is no way for the O-line to upgrade their dev at Super Bowl week, I made that by hand. Luke Wagner got in the Pro Bowl as well for the first time. Then Devin White in the middle, and there is Preston Smith down there. Darius Slay is there. The ex-Lion, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Jordan Lewis, Akella Witherspoon. So for secondary, nobody of our team made it, but our secondary was really good, especially our corner room, and I look to upgrade that one even further. Matt Prater made it, Calvin Short as kick returner, and then Dorian Grant, he did not return a single punt, and that punt returner Pro Bowl award is so broken. He did not play a single snap in the entire season, I think, and still got to the Pro Bowl for no reason at all. Russell Wilson is the NFL MVP at 9-7 with the Seahawks, but they got blown out by the Saints in the wildcard round. For Coach of the Year, it's Ron Rivera for the 14-2 Washington football team. Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC, that is Ryan Tannehill. He also was in consideration for MVP. For the defense, it's CJ Mosley. For Offensive Rookie of the Year, I don't know when that last happened, but that is a tight end. Bradley Weeks made it to number 1 as a tight end. For defense, it's Deion Dixon of the Titans. And there were some good edge rushers in this class as well. Apart from him, there is Joe Murphy here, Tremaine Roth, Julian Cantu. He was my favorite prospect. And down the list, there is Michael Klein, another good edge rusher. Ryan Tannehill is also QB, and I think most of these awards really don't matter to us a lot. We'll go to the NFC shortly, but I just thought I would show them. Quentin Nelson, Best O-Line Award, no surprise there. Myles Garrett, Best D-Line, CJ Mosley, MVP and Best Linebacker, and Stephon Gilmore as the Best DB ahead of Keanu O'Neal. Harrison Butker, the Best Kicker. Let's move on to the NFC, and your Offensive Player of the Year is Russell Wilson ahead of Matt Ryan and the Panthers quarterback Baker Mayfield. But at 7, Tyler Kingsbury, despite only playing in 11 games, he made 7th place in the Offensive Player of the Year voting. For Defensive Player of the Year, Devin White at the top, and Khalil Mack down the list, Aaron Donald and Luke Wagner and Justin Gunter, the middle linebacker duo, made it in there as well. Tyler Kingsbury is the Rookie of the Year, and he did not really earn this reward. So much of his yardage was after catch, and it was just players outrunning other defenders. Second was Christopher Barkley. I think he did not play that great either. I think just from a playing standpoint, I think Calvin Short should have gotten it because he had 1,700 yards from scrimmage. Lindell Thierry made it as the 4th place in this list. Dalvin Givens was one of the reasons the Saints went to the Super Bowl. And there is Terrence Byers, who was a reason that the Cardinals even got to the championship game. Defensive Rookie of the Year, it's Justin Gunter. No surprise there. 205 tackles, led the league in tackling. Really good. His pass coverage is not that great. Heisman winning JT Myers got 2nd place, and Corey Ross went as the 3rd guy. He is an outside linebacker, good run stopper, but not great in coverage and not good pass rusher either. Josh McClain made the 5th place. Percy Hales got in 6th. And Nathan Divins, the other 1st-round linebacker, made the 7th place. Jeremy Gabriel in 9th. He had 5 sacks, and that was fine. For quarterbacks, Tyler Kingsbury came in 3rd. Aaron Rodgers in 1st in the NFC. Russell Wilson, despite having MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, not the best quarterback. Pretty disappointing there. And on the list at running back, Calvin Short came in 7th. And for best receiver, Lindell Thierry and Arcega-Whiteside are 1 and 2 on the list. And that means some upgrading for Lindell Thierry as well. We'll get to that later. Devontae Adams and Michael Thomas down the list. Taj Redmond in 5th. Julio Jones in 6th. And those two were a really dynamic duo. DJ Moore came in 8th. And Michael Gallup from the Packers came in 10th. For best O-line, Mitch Schwartz, who I considered to sign, but he did not want to come here. And then some other players, no lines in there. For best D-line, Aaron Donald 1st and Terrence Rodriguez in 3rd. That was really good season. He had a lot of coverage sacks, but a good season nonetheless. And there is Carlos Jefferson coming in 5th. For linebackers, Khalil Mack is 1st, Devin White is 2nd. And if we scroll down the list, Luke Wagner made it to the 8th place for best linebacker in the NFC. Justin Gunter not even on the list, despite having the most tackles in the nation. Best DBs, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Darius Slade, Deontay Thompson, and down the list, Addison Wheaton at 6. He had 4 picks, and that is pretty nice. Best kicker, no surprise here, Matt Prater with the leg. And with that, we are gonna move on to upgrading. Kingsbury gets 2 upgrades for being Rookie of the Year, and he gets good short and medium accuracy. I like this upgrade. And there is another one. We'll put it into Field General as well. I want that accuracy ratings go up, and short and medium accuracy here. Throw under pressure is the pretty big weakness of his, but his ratings look like this now. He's a really solid starting quarterback, I think. Below average still for an accuracy standpoint, but it's getting there. Justin Gunter +2 zone coverage, and that means he is in the 70s now, and from now on I will go into run stopper upgrades because our run stopping is pretty bad. And there is Lindell Thierry. He gets an upgrade here as well. Get some catching traffic, short route running, and one more just for good measure. You get some more catching, a release, short and medium route running. Good upgrade here. As you can see, he upgraded to X Factor, and he has now 96 speed. Good catching ratings. His medium and deep route running still needs some work. Let's talk roster. Tyler Kingsbury is the starting quarterback, and since Matthew Stafford is going to regress even further after this season, his accuracies are already down there, and Kingsbury is not far away from Stafford's ratings. Stafford's contract also is running out, and I don't know if I'm gonna re-sign him. Kerryon Johnson, he had an okay season. O-line did not do very well. Calvin Short, he had a good rookie season, 1,200 yards, almost all of it after catch, and then 500 yards on the ground. I'm pretty happy with that. though I'm pretty disappointed that Short and Kingsbury did not get an upgrade for their development. DeAndre Swift, I don't know what to do with him because I really like him, but his skill set reminds me a lot of Calvin Short, and Short is a lot faster, so I don't know what to do with Swift. Arcega-Whiteside had a good season. He's still the #1 receiver on this team, and after Kingsbury started, his role expanded a lot. Matthew Ford, he doesn't have the speed I'm looking for. He had a solid season as a slot receiver, but I look to upgrade for slot receiver in the offseason as well. Lindell Thierry is an X factor now, and he had a 1,300 yard campaign. Pretty nice stuff. Tyrone Shepard had an okay season. He was a solid replacement for Matthew Ford, but still I am looking to upgrade at slot receiver. Tyree Spence, he had not the greatest season, but I also removed some I formation and fullback formations from the playbook, so his role got decreased. Taylor Decker's contract is up, and I don't know if I want to re-sign him. There is 3 good tackles in this draft, and I'm not sure if we are gonna get them, but I'm sure gonna try. Let's see what he wants. Tyrell Crosby, he's a swing tackle, and his contract is up as well, and I'm probably not gonna re-sign him. Let's see what there is in free agency. Matthew Wilkinson, he had a pretty rough start. It got better with the season going on, but his pass blocking still is more to be concerned about. Frank Ragnow, actually upgraded him because he was center 1 in the Pro Bowl, so he has now a star dev, but that happened after I made this video. John Wise, I'm still not happy with his performances. And Clyde Farr, he's a solid right tackle, but nothing great. And yeah, we'll see what we do at O-line in the offseason, but that offseason is gonna be key for the O-line. I'm still happy with TJ Hawkinson and Hunter Bryant. Bryant's contract is up as well, so I look to re-sign him. Let's see what he wants. And for defense, Terrence Rodriguez, he got star dev. He got upgraded because he had 14 sacks, and that probably did it for him. He had a good season, some coverage sacks that he shouldn't have had. There is Julian Okwara. He was a part-time starter. Pretty disappointed in his development in this season. Jeremy Gabriel, it was revealed at the end of the season that he has superstar dev, and he is a really good run stopper, and I'm gonna expand that role for him. He's gonna be more of a run stopper, while Carlos Jefferson is gonna be the pass rusher, and those two have to be the disruptive force in the interior so that we can stop the run, which was a major problem this entire season. But 14 sacks for Carlos Jefferson, pretty happy with that. Trey Flowers, still huge contract, and he had 11 sacks, which is okay, I guess. But if there is a good edge rusher there, I will take the chance if I get it. J.A. Alexander, pretty good season. He was pretty much locked down. Almost all of our pass yardage, or I mean, not almost, but most of our pass yardage was created by tight ends and running backs on dump-offs and slot receivers. Addison Wheaton was a pretty good slot corner. I really liked what he did for the team. He had 4 picks and really good tackling that he did not show in his first season. Warrior, his contract is up. I am not sure whether I want to re-sign him. Jeff Okuda had a good season as a coverage corner. He was not tested much, so he only had 1 pick, but I think we are set with our 1-2 corners. And Jeff Gladney's contract is up as well, so I'm probably gonna look to re-sign either Gladney or Warrior and let the other one walk, or maybe let both of them walk and re-sign them in free agency. Tracy Walker, strong safety, number 1. He played a pretty solid season, and I think he is gonna be a part of this team for a long time. Behind him, Will Harris, his contract is up and he's getting up there in age. He's not gonna get any better, so I'm probably not gonna re-sign him. Luke Wagner, he went up to superstar dev because he had so many tackles and some sacks and picks, so really nice stuff here. Justin Gunter, He did not go up in development either, so pretty disappointing here, but his ratings are really solid for a 22-year-old second-year linebacker. Dante Johnson is not the answer at free safety. We saw that. He was missing some tackles and his coverage is not all that great. Jeff Chaney, he was the starter at the beginning. I drafted him last season, but I think he was pretty disappointing, and this safety class looks awesome. So I'm gonna look to draft a safety this season again to pair with Tracy Walker, and then Jeff Chaney is gonna take the role that Will Harris had, so backup for every position in the secondary. And next episode there is gonna be the free agency and some trades, maybe, let's see. But alright, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Lions franchise. See you in the next episode. Until then, spread some love.